Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today on the podcast was Murray and Dave as we talked through the European draw, Lennon's ban and the new Hibs trips. We also had to talk about the World Cup as well, but before any of that, we ran a competition for your chance to win a custom flag from Casuals Attire. All you had to do was subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment saying which 3 players you would like to see Hibs bring in this summer. We had many great comments. We had a lot of comments saying Canberry, McLaren and Allen. And the winner was Kyle McLeish, who had the most likes in the comments section. He went for 3 outfield shouts. He went for Alex Schalk, who has had time at Ross County and Inverness. Kristen Doige, Forest Green striker, scored 20 goals in a struggling team since single-handedly keeping up in the league. And Graham Carney, Plymouth central midfielder, who scored 14 goals and had 12 assists. So it's good to see that he's kind of went out the way and kind of found some different players that maybe outside the box. So and it's good to see somebody like with putting in the effort and being rewarded. So congratulations, Kyle. You have won a 3x5 flag from Casuals Attire. We'll get in touch with that to organise the details. However, if you're thinking, oh, I really could have done with a flag for going away for the European games, or there's some cool stuff on Casuals Attire, like their mugs and their stickers, don't worry, we've got you sorted. We've teamed up with them, and to keep our kind of connection going, if you buy any Hibs products, that's any Hibs products, and at the end put in the discount code HFC Talk, you'll get 20% off. So we're going to keep that running for a while, so get on to Casuals Attire, get ordering some Hibs stock and use the discount code HFC Talk. So enough of me blabbering. Congratulations to Kyle. Get over to casualsattire.bigcartel.com to get your Hibs products as well, and let's get on with the show. Today is Dave.
Alright.
And also we've got Murray. How you doing, Murray?
Alright guys, how you doing?
So, European trips. We know Lennon won't be in the dugout for them because of suspension. Dave, you've got some news about him potentially not being, well, definitely not being in the dugout for the first few games.
Aye, so he got a 1-match ban. It's just come out for the aeroplane celebration against Rangers, which we'll agree is
ridiculous.
Well, it's well worth it. I'd take a match
worth
ban
it,
for
yes,
worse.
but it's ridiculous.
Right, and then obviously that's triggered the 2-match suspended sentence, if you will, for his rant at the officials against Kilmarnock away. So
what games is he missing?
He'll miss 2 league games and then the Betfred Cup game.
Right.
So
okay. Murray, thoughts on that?
I'm gutted at the fact that he's not going to be in the dugout, because I'm a big believer that your manager should be on the sidelines, instructions. He's not any good in the stand, but Lenny will know that himself, and he'll know that he'll have to reel his neck in for a good wee while. But on the flip side of the coin, knowing that Gary Parker's in the dugout as well, he's as passionate as what Lenny is. So the players have got to know that they're going to have support on the side there, and they're going to have clear instructions. So on the one hand, it's a bad thing, but on the opposite side, I think it's just going to be business as usual, to be honest.
He's definitely got, like you said, a real trusted number 2 there that he's got a really good record at standing around, which has been quite a bit for Lennon. And I think he's got a 100% record for Hibs every time he stood in. So at least I think he does. That might have changed the last time with the suspension. Anyway, somebody will correct me and slag me on Twitter for getting all that wrong. So Hibs started pre-season training on Monday, and in training was Canberry after he signed a 3-year deal. They left it late, with the deadline being the 14th, but they got the deal across the line. Dave, your initial thoughts on re-signing Canberry for 3 years for rumoured to be £100,000 grand?
£100,000.
It's the same thing.
You're tired. Gav's tired. No, it's fine. No, it's perfect bit of business, isn't it? £100 grand.
Especially with Sunderland being quoted 1.8 million.
Exactly. See, if you just keep him a year, and that's like worst case scenario. He does really well. Keep him a year. The money we can make off the back of this, to me, it's pretty risk free. 100 grand for what he's shown so far.
Just to, play host and devil's advocate here, I don't genuinely think this for a second, but Murray, is there a chance that the 6 months he had at Hibs, that it was a bit of a fluke and we shouldn't get too carried away with what we've seen?
I don't think it's a risk factor, and I've said many times that Canberra is suited to the Scottish game. He's a big physical lad, he knows the game here, and he's shown that already. He had 14 games, obviously, for January, scored 9 goals. And I don't actually think there was a time in that spell that he had a bad game. Now, obviously, he's here for 3 years. He is going to hit bad spells of form. That's the same as any striker. But the difference is what he's got to have to do is when he goes through a bad spell of form, how does he recover for that? We've obviously not seen him through a bad spell of form yet. But we have to then, obviously, as fans, if he goes through a bad spell, maybe 3 or 4, 5 games or whatever, scoring, we just have to make sure that we're behind him 110%.
I think we've seen that with McLaren after kind of scoring against the Rangers game, and then there was a bit where he missed a couple. He missed a penalty against Aberdeen. The game before that, he missed a couple of chances, but then he got his head up and then he got a hat-trick against Rangers. And we've seen him, and even when he first started, he never kicked on the way he did. We've seen him have the dips in form, but come back strong. We've just seen, Canberra play well the whole time, and that's great. But it does make you question, if he does have a dip in form, will his head go down? Will he be able to keep it up? And he was playing in a really good Hibs team at that point. Will the Hibs team be at that point come the start of the season, come the European games, which we'll come on to in a sec? Just, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to put out different arguments. And
a big thing that Canberra will need to deal with, though, is that he came to Hibs and there was no expectations at all on him, like absolutely zero, because we didn't know who he was. There was quite a lot of I didn't slate the signing, but I was like, who is this boy?
And you watch the YouTube clips and it's like, oh my god, what is he doing?
You looked at his stats, just wasn't looking brilliant. Whereas this time, the expectation around other Hibs fans, the excitement and that, he's got to carry that, and so that's probably a different experience for him, because I don't know if he's probably ever had that kind of expectation on his shoulders before, like going into a club.
So next question I've got for you both is, Canberra's in, great. Where's everyone else?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on.
Are Hibs holding off to get through 1 or 2 qualifying rounds to get more money in to then get higher caliber players, or what? Why is there not being more business done? I mean, I know Hearts are a major rebuilding job and they're a mess, and I've not been impressed with their signings, but 10 signings compared to 1 at Hibs.
10's too much. I'd be quite happy with a classy 3 at this stage. I'd expected to add in more than just Canberra, especially with European ties coming up, and we've still got a lot of questions around about who's going to play in that midfield. Fully, I don't expect Allen or McGeoch or that to be sorted by then, because it is going to come round quite fast now.
Murray, what's your thoughts on the lack of transfer activity?
Well, one thing that I'm going to say is, obviously, as you touched on there, Hearts have brought in 8, 9, 10 players, whatever it might be.
It's up to 10 a day.
Now, we went through a spell like that when Pat Fenlon was manager, where we were just bringing in players right, left and centre. I think in one transfer window, Pat Fenlon signed 8, maybe 9 players, and not one of them were a quality player. I'm more than happy to have quality over quantity. Yes, I would have liked a wee bit more in the door at this point, but one thing I will say is, you look at the last couple of transfer windows at Hibs, there has not been a signing there in my eyes that has actually came in and has been really disappointing. Lenny will know what he wants. Lenny will know what he can get. Yes, I do agree with, as I say, a few people who have said, can we get another couple of people through the door? But I'm more than happy to accept quality over quantity. the way that I look at it is we could be in Hearts' shoes, having 10 players coming through and them not being shanked again.
Are you not slightly worried about the fact though that it's only one and we're only like 3 weeks away from our European game?
Yeah, I mean, and as I say, on one hand, that is a concern. You know, on the one hand, that is a concern, but equally, as I say, on the flip side of the coin, Lenny will be working hard behind the scenes to get people in. And then on top of that as well, what I think is going to happen is, because if you look at it for the youth side last season, the under-20s who won the double, a lot of them have actually been given long-term deals. So that makes me think, has Lenny seen enough of them for these laddies to say, you're good enough for the first team, we're just got to promote you?
Well, there's no doubt they had a great season in the under-20s, so yeah, it would be great to see some of them get bolstered up to the first team. So we mentioned the European game there only being a few weeks away. The draw was yesterday for ourselves, as we're at the time of recording. Murray, who was it we got in the first qualifying round?
NSI Vega.
So if we get past them, Dave, who have we got in the second qualifying round?
Forgive the pronunciation, but Astori Tripolis or something along those lines from Greece. Greece,
a hell of a lot cheaper to get to than Faroe Islands. So I went on literally as the draw was made, and the cheapest flight, which is now no longer there, either somebody's taken it or they've bumped up the price, was £352, and that was with an 18-hour overnight flight, well, a 8-hour flight with a 12-hour or 10-hour
overlay.
Overlay, so sitting in an airport, so we had to sleep in an airport for overnight, which is just crazy. £352 to sleep in an airport.
Drink in an airport.
Drinking in an airport. But the prices have now gone up. Murray, what was the prices last time you checked?
I looked about, I don't know, I think I looked after I finished work that day, and it was about £478. That was the cheapest flight that I found, £478. So that put the ice on the plan straight away.
Aye. They play their European games at a different stadium, basically in the capital, which holds 6,000 compared to their stadium, which only holds 2,000. I'm not going to try and pronounce either the name of the stadiums. I'm not going to try and pronounce their name again until we've heard presenters give it a bash a couple of times. No offence to you guys, given the pronunciation for you guys. So they are 14 games into their season, compared to our just started a pre-season. How will that factor in? Obviously, there's Hibs are at a higher quality, but how will that factor in, Dave?
The physical fitness is obviously quite a big thing in football, but the step in class should be able to show. Obviously, Rangers were done over this time last year by that team for Luxembourg, I think they were well into their season as well, and that obviously played a factor because they should never be beat off them. I know it was Rangers and are not the best, but our run-up games are going to be Linlithgow. Was it Linlithgow, Blackburn and
Linlithgow?
Berwick?
Was it Blackburn?
We're playing Blackburn. Testimonial.
Oh, aye. I'm thinking of Blackburn and West Lothian. I'm like, what?
No. We're only playing one junior team. Don't you worry.
Yeah, so
it is Berwick, I'm sure. It's always Berwick.
Yeah, you're right, it's Berwick, yeah. So their top goal scorer is the defender Justin Hewson. He scored 5 goals in 14 games. Murray, do you think this highlights that they might be a danger for set pieces? Something we might need to watch?
See, I can't really say anything about this team. I don't know anything about them. Maybe I'm being a wee bit ignorant in that sense, but as has been said already, they're 14 games.
You try to tell me that you don't watch Icelandic football on a weekly basis? Icelandic? No, sorry. What's the word? Is it fairish? I don't know why I said Icelandic. That's twice I've made that mistake. Is it fairish?
We'll go, I don't know, create it. Fairish.
No, recently I haven't, to be honest. But no, I just think that, and as I've already said, I mean, fitness is going to be a big thing. Let's not beat about the bush here. It is going to be a physical thing. I do think the quality will shine through. You know, I don't know what these guys do for. I don't know if the Faroese League is part time or if it's a full time league. I'd imagine it's a part time footballers. So that again is going to play a part. But the thing for me is obviously they play at a stadium that only holds 2,000. They're going to come to Easter Road. We have to sell it out. We have to basically put on a show at Easter Road so that when we go back to their stadium, wherever it might be, the tie is either dead or they're not getting anything from it.
It's a good point. Having it at Easter Road first, selling it out could be. And I mean, how many people are they going to bring over? And they'll probably sell what, like 15, 20 tickets?
If I had to really give a guess, I mean, you look at Bromley when they came last season, they only brought a couple of hundred, you know, but you wouldn't have known it for the noise that they made because they were fantastic the whole 90 minutes they were there. They never stopped singing. But I can't see people I can't see this team bringing a lot of supporters. There is no danger.
So say like they brought like 50 folk, they could quite easily just be put in one of the corners of the away end, and then sell the rest of the way end to Hibs fans. Get it all sold out, and just because they've done that a few years ago.
They've done it against with Dnipro.
Aye,
they shoved Dnipro up top right of the main stand.
Aye,
and gave the rest of the stand to everybody else. That would be a nice problem to have, like where to put them. But
yeah, so hopefully do that.
Depends on pricing.
What's the great atmosphere and sells out. Hopefully,
I would price it sensibly.
Yeah, price it for a sellout rather than to make most money. But never happened. They've also got just a couple other players. They've got a striker, Olsen, who scored 4 goals in 9 games, which is a good return for a striker. And they've got a midfielder, Knudsen, maybe. I don't know. 4 goals in 13 games, only 20 years old, so maybe a talented young lad that we need to keep an eye on. So those ties will be the 12th and the 19th. 12th at Easter Road. They have played 22 games in Europe, only won 2, and those 2 wins have never resulted in them winning a tie. So they've never got through a European tie.
When you look at their goal difference, though, like, we should be hammering them. There's no beating about the bush. I know you can't be complacent, but
goals for 10, goals against 60. Aye, surely this team's in for a doing.
We should be breezing by them and then
focus hopefully we do. And then next up we've got Dave.
Oh shit, Astorius Tripolis.
Right. I'll totally edit that together to make it sound like you didn't still. I won't. So we hopefully we'll have another European tie against them away in Greece. I guess we'll kind of look at that a bit more closer at the time once we know we're actually through. Last bit to get to talk about really is the home kit was revealed. What's everybody's thoughts on it? I've got a guy shouted at me on Twitter because I said it's the worst top we've had in the last 10-15 years, and a lot of people have came back and said that the first one we had in the championship was worse, which maybe I concede that, but
you're allowed your opinion. Why are you getting shouted at for having your opinion?
How dare I have an opinion?
I don't like it either, mate. I think it's horrible. Don't like the diamond design. Don't
Stick
like
to your hosting, Gav. Didn't he have an opinion?
Don't like diamond design. Don't like the different shades of green. Don't like the collar. Don't like the top. No getting the top.
No.
But again, if somebody likes it, then fair play. But I don't like it.
Murray, what's your thoughts on it?
To be honest, I'm going to be on the fence here. I've seen a lot of people say that they like it. Other people's obviously said that they didn't. I do agree with the point there. The strip we had the first season in the championships when we didn't have the white sleeves, I think that was a worse top, to be honest. But I think if you were going to choose a design on it, it had to be the one shade of green or the other. It can't be both. I agree with the collar. The collar's a bit iffy for me. I mean, I like the away top, as to be said, but I think the marathon bet, the fact that it's got the red on it, I think it kind of takes it away from the top and you focus more on the logo. So it's a bit. I've seen better attempts, at Hibs kits, to be honest. These aren't the worst that I've seen, but they're not the greatest either.
I did see a message from Tracy on Facebook asking us groups to share this around, so we'll put it on the podcast if folk haven't seen it yet. The reason that it's red is because Marathon Bet insisted that was in the contract, that any time their logo falls on a white background, it must be the red with the blue. The red Marathon and the blue Bet. So that's the reasoning for that. It was in the contract, they insisted on that in the contract and kind of demanded it. So
I mean, they've been really good sponsor. I know they've been a really good sponsor, and they should get to do what they want. It's their logo. They've made it.
Why does it make a difference? The fact it's on a white background.
Nah, I know that does put a wee bit. It's like the one thing that they've done in the whole kind of relationship that's kind of ruined, not ruined, but it's put a wee bit of dampener on it.
Aye.
They've been class, and don't get me wrong, they have been a really good sponsor. The engagement with the fans has been ridiculous, exceeds all expectations. So you've got to look at it for the point where they do deserve it, maybe, because at the end of the day it's their logo, and they have been brilliant. So do we just give them it? But at the end of the day, I didn't want red on a Hibs top.
I genuinely, I probably would have just went, I'll get that one then. But with the red on it, I've went, nah, I'll not get it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Because I've been thinking, it'd be really cool if we had green sleeves and a white top. I've thought that for a long time. So to finally get it, and for the logo to ruin it, it's kind of disappointing. But anyway, we move on. Just to finish up then, guys, you've been enjoying the World Cup?
No, really.
No? How not?
No. I think the base game that we've had, Spain and Portugal, the rest of the games have been a bit of a disappointment. And to be quite honest with you, if I hear about England and the World Cup in '66 again, I'm actually got to start wearing my telly as a hat.
Right, I'll agree with you there on the commentary and the halftime things, because there was the Germany-Mexico game. I actually timed it because I was fast forwarding it. See, I always go a wee bit behind the game so I can fast forward through halftime, because they talk about England so much. They talked about Mexico for 5 minutes, England for 8 minutes, and then Germany for 3 minutes. And it's just, that is absolutely nuts. And then the second half kicked off, and it's it's a really exciting game between Mexico and Germany, and you spend 8 minutes of your 15-16 minutes half time talking about England. And like you say, the best game we've had so far, Portugal, Germany, and they talked about England on the Monday night. But yeah, I have to say, I disagree though. I think the tournament's been great. There's been hardly a boring game. Yesterday was probably the worst day so far. Yesterday being the Spain-Iran, Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. But yeah, no, whatever it was. But yeah, that was probably the worst day. But I think overall it's been really good. Some really exciting games. There's not yet to be a 0-0. Really enjoying it. Saying that, it'll be 0-0 with Argentina tonight, and then we'll put this out. Dave, what's your thoughts on the World Cup?
I've not really found it that brilliant, to be honest.
Really? I'm really surprised that you're saying this. I've loved it. I think it's been
you're
brilliant.
Quite an enthusiastic guy though. I'm like doom and gloom.
I wasn't like this with it. I was disappointed in the Euros a couple of years ago. I wasn't as adored with the World Cup in Brazil. I just think this one's been really good football.
No,
not sometimes it's not been good football, but it's been exciting games and goals at the end, and even Russia have been exciting.
It was always good to see the host nation doing well, because it kind of adds a wee bit of atmosphere to the whole thing. But I'm looking forward to get to the knockout stages. I think there's been too many cagey games. Don't get me wrong, some of the way the teams are setting up, they've not got a choice, because they've got hammered if they didn't set up like that. Iran against Spain. Kenny sat in and that. I loved that. They played well. And
that was exciting because Iran hit the side netting, and I celebrated like Scotland had just scored against England. And then they scored, and I celebrated again crazily, and then stupid VAR. We could talk about that for ages. Okay. Right, so we will I'll do a thing to kind of wrap up, but thank you very much for phoning in, Murray. It's good to speak to you.
You're welcome, guys. Good to hear these.
Cheers for coming along, Dave.
That's alright.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast, folks. Hopefully give you that Hibs fix. Obviously we're all missing Hibs at the moment. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Why don't you head over there and comment on one of our pages telling us what's your thoughts on the European ties and how far do you think we can go? Can we make it to the third playoff round? Could we possibly make it to the playoff rounds? Or are you like Neil Lennon and hopeful for the group stages? And finally, just to mention again, casualsattire.bigcartel.com. Buying some Hibs products. Get yourself a custom made flag for the European trips. Get some mugs, get some stickers, there's loads of Hibs products on there, and use the discount code HFCTalk for 20% off. And to finish up, we have had Leith-based band Betty and the Bass doing our intro and outro for a while now. I thought rather than just playing a wee snippet of the outro, I'd play the full song. Spoke to them, completely fine with us, great bunch of guys, and lead singer Lindsay. So yeah, get over to Spotify and check out the rest of their tunes. Here's Betty and the Bass with Monk's Blood.
We didn't even make it to the best part of the song, singing I am the resurrection all night long, like it's our theme song. I've got tonic wine on my mind. Is that guy's no friend of mine? I hope he's having a good time. Hope he's having a good night. Got tonic wine on my mind. Share it with these friends of mine. You know we're having a good night. Got tonic wine on my mind. Having a good time. I hope he's having a good night. I got